to be able to house these because, oh, that's ignoble stock. No, that's terrible. We don't want ignoble. We want pristine. It would be nice. Hello YouTube, I'm the Toffman and welcome back to some more Not the Bees. It is part 8 today. 8 parts into this series, guys. And still, I'm just doing bees. As the pack suggests, it is literally all about bees. Last episode, guys, we went ahead and created this. We died. I think, did we die last episode? I literally cannot remember. This husbandry is going really, really well. The butcher's going really, really well, guys. And the collecting is going really, really well as well. Now, the only thing is, it really does fill up this area inside here. And one time, the princess went to get put in here, but it couldn't fit. Luckily for me, actually, it stacks behind the item. So as soon as you start taking some of this stuff out, the princess pops in, so I don't need to make any more. Thank God for that. But that is paying dividends, guys, and it is actually ending up quite fruitful for us. We've got 6 leather, 18 pork chop, 18 raw beef, so we're nearly there in that sort of respects. Now, the eagle-eyed out there may have noticed the energy drones right here, and we'll get to them in just 1 second. I've been busy, guys. I have been busy in this quest book, working away at what you can say is the way forwards for me, and that is energy, of course. So, let's take a look at this. So, I've done the sharpening. I did the vial of pheromones. We now get a bronze sword, which is absolutely great for us, guys. Then, I've done the vial of pheromones for repair. Repair bees can repair any item placed in the flower pedestal in their territory. Great if you happen to have a fantastic set of armour with enchantments you don't want to lose. Then, they can, however, be a little slow. Perhaps if you put some drones in a gun and shot them at an item, it would go faster? Question mark. We get a BB gun and a bottler, which is very interesting. The BB gun, actually, some drones, guys, can be placed inside the BB gun. If we take a look, if we shift and right click, here we go. It does require honey, but if you take a look at that, guys, you can put some bees in there and fire it at items. And say, for example, if I wanted to repair a weapon or anything like that, we could do that with the BB gun, which is pretty awesome, guys. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to leave the bottler there for the moment because I'm not going to be using it just at this moment in time. I'm just going to put all this stuff away that I'm really not needing. I'll put some stuff in there. I mean, bee stuff goes into there. I've got my mutating frames, of course. Now, we just need to take a look at our energy hive over here. Yes, we have. We've got the pheromones, and that will give us yet another quest complete. We are rattling through these bees like nobody's business. Wonderful. Let's put these into here then. If you're wondering what this obsidian bee that I've just got hanging around in here, that will actually generate a redstone bee for us, hopefully, at some point. I've done the breeding. It's not warm enough, and also I needed a piece of ore, which I now have, but it's still not warm enough, guys, and I can't actually use that. I might be able to go to the nether with that guy, actually. Let's take a quick look and see if we can go to the nether. It's been a long time since we went to the nether, been a few episodes. But let's go to the nether with our copper ore over here and see whether or not we can actually do that obsidian bee in the nether and get ourselves that redstone bee. Because if we can start getting redstone, guys, that'll be a really, really good start. But of course, it's a sinister one that we're after. And that's why we're doing all this power work. Basically, because I want everything running on power so that I can do all of the automation. So I can just literally concentrate on getting that soul sand. So we're going to put that in there. I'm going to put that in there. It's actually too hot now. That is crazy. God damn it. Well, I tried, guys. It's too hot. It didn't have the flowers. It was too hot. It really didn't like it in the nether. It's fine. I'm not too fussed. I'm not putting it into the electric one. I would much rather build an alveary. I think that would be a good way of doing it, guys. But we need to start getting power. We need to get all of the iron. We need to just do stuff like that. And that's where the soul sand comes in. Unfortunately, still haven't managed to get any soul sand, so we might have to just go down the line of magical bees. I was hoping it would give us a piece of soul sand. I've opened 1 scrap up. We've got 1 pumpkin, guys. In fact, we can just afford to make another piece of scrap now. Oh, guys, the excitement is building. The excitement is building. a piece of leather. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. A piece of leather, guys. After all of that, one single piece of leather. That is terrible news. Right, we can do this. Now, I'm really, really, really excited for this because this will start me on Gendustry and I cannot wait for Gendustry, guys. We get a Flux Pug, we get a Flux Point, we get a Flux Controller, we get a genetic sampler from Gendustry, we get some blank gene samples, and we get 16 genetics labware, which is good. So we've done that, and as you can see, we've just got to go down this route, so we need 8 pieces of leather and raw beef. Have we actually got that now? Oh, I need one more piece of leather. Come on, have one of you's died over here yet? Yes, there we go. Look, you see what I mean about the princess just hiding behind the mountain of stuff that we've got in here. So that'll be another quest. Let me just put all of this rubbish away. Leave that there. The raw beef. Come on, ding-a-ling for me, please. Oh, we did just detect it. Be easier. Oh, and it's actually taken the items as well. I was hoping it didn't take the items, but it has. It actually has taken the items, guys. Alright, so let's go ahead and accept this. So we've claimed that now. We've got another 2 mutation frames, which is really, really nice. We've got them there. And we've got another Oblivion frame, which is exactly the setup we use currently. So at least I'm going down the right way. So I've actually got in here... Oh, I thought I had them. I apparently don't. Oh, no, hang on a minute. Clockwork, smelter. I've not got the ones that I need, and that is the Yente bee. Because I have a feeling that Yente bee is going to want... Oh, hang on a minute. Yente bees have to be one of the best things to come to early game bee breeding. When you use a Yente princess on a hive, it will automatically breed any princess inside with the best drone, so you don't have to do anything but to keep production running. Simply breed the husbandry bee with the graduate bee to obtain this bee. We've already done this. We get 8 hoppers, which is absolutely great for this particular time, and we get 2 Oblivion frames as well. So we've done that. That is amazing for us. But that 8 hoppers, oh man, that is going to really, really help with automation. Really, really going to help with automation. Let's put these up here. So I'll keep the hoppers with me at the moment because I've got all this stuff here that I'm just not using at the moment. Next, oh, we've got a police drone. Police bees are a great way to automate your mob farm. You have a mob farm, right? They should not be too difficult to obtain. They will attack any hostile monster in the area around them and collect their drops. They also create fantastic police reports on each monster killed, so you might have to find a way to deal with those if you use them to automate your mob farm. Police reports will instantly despawn if you drop them on the ground. Well, immediately, one thing that springs to mind is to use the Britannia Crafty Crate so that I can literally place that on the bottom of the hive, drop everything out with hoppers into the Crafty Crate, shoves that onto the floor, maybe use a collecting bee or something like that, or even one of these conveyor belts. Maybe have the thing over there. Oh, item router. I don't know if that's one of them. I don't know if we can use it like that. I have no idea. But it looks good. Looks good. So we need 16 bone and 16 rotten flesh for that. I don't have the bones, and I don't have the rotten flesh, actually. But I think we'll stick to the way that the book is asking us to do it. And what is this? What on earth is that? So if we look at the police, what can we use the police in bee breeding? It's something with... Ah, there we go. Look, tax collector. I have no idea what a tax collector does, but we've got to give it with a thief as well. What does a thief do? Oh, we have to get the sinister one for that one, though. So that's not happening anytime soon. Let's go and get this setup all sorted with a little bit of energy collecting here, guys. So that's working fine. Let's just pop that around here. So the energy, we still haven't got a Yente bee, a Yente princess, automating the energy bee. I think the best way of doing this is to take this clockwork bit, pure, take it all. Let's put the apiary back down. Let's put the student drone on there. And then let's put the clockwork in there. So I've still got the Yente princess now. So I think the Yente princess is worth more on the energy bee itself. So we'll let it do that. And we'll put this one as clockwork pure. So it will still do the clockwork engines, of course. It just means we've got to keep an eye on it. But this one will directly create RF. And that is going to be a hell of a lot more use for us. So for adding energy to the Flux network, manages energy. I've never actually used this mod before. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this clockwork engine for this moment in time. We're going to put that there, maybe? Please select a network. Can I create a network? I can. Haig-Yorke's network, private, true, whatever. Preview, yeah. Let's go ahead and create that. So we've created a network. I'm quite happy about that. The Flux plug adds energy to the network. So if we put that, can we put that on top of there? Network connections available. I literally have no idea what this is doing at this moment in time. I was hoping that it would directly... Because then what I could do with this is sort of, put it onto there like that, you see. But this one does... That connects to that. I can see the connection, but this one is not connecting to the actual bee house here. Is this... Do I need this right next to it? Do I put it on the top? No. So how does one make this work? I'm wondering if... Right, that's harvestable by pickaxe. So if we put that there, for instance, that's not going to work. Okay, let me put this back where it belongs. And if we go ahead and say we've got an LV connector there, we need wire. We need all of the stuff. I don't know how this works, guys. I've never seen it. I'm just, you know, plodding along, hoping that I find something that works in this thing. So we're going to take all of this stuff just in case we do actually need this. And hopefully it works like this. So it creates energy from the actual block. I'm hoping that it works a little bit like this. So if we link that to there, ouch, it seems power's running through it. But it's not actually... Right, hang on a minute. Give me that here. We really need some form of insulation. Can we get insulated LV? Insulated LV wire coil. Right, we don't have... Oh no, hang on a minute. Industrial hemp around a stick. Yeah, but we need one of these, and we haven't got that at this current moment in time. Okay. So let's do this. This is bad for our legs. Right, I'm stood here, guys. There's no power running through this. Not one single bit of power is running through this. I think I might have to look into this a little bit more because this is confusing to me. It doesn't seem to be creating RF energy from the block itself, and I don't know how to get it out. Alright guys, I am back. I have figured it out slightly. And it's not good news, actually, guys. It really isn't that good news. So I plonked next to it, I plonked the electric apiary, the industrial one. I put it right next to it, and it was indeed transferring RF. However, very, very slowly, it was still transferring RF. So I'm not too fussed about that. However, when you look at the amount of RF that's actually transferred, believe it or not, because even though there's no point actually fixing to this, it is transferring energy to it. So there's something to keep in mind. But if we take... So let's get rid of all these combs that we've got in our inventory for the moment. There we go. So we can see just how much we've got. So we've got 58 of them. If we just take one of them and put that back into there so that we keep that going. But if I put this into here... Oh dear, guys. This is... it's not good news. It really is not good news. This is where the Flux controller is, by the way. I've just plonked it there. I don't think it does anything that we need to be aware of, but please let me know if it does. If we look at this, guys, we are making 3 RF per tick when it pops up. 3. And even when this setup is not running alongside this, 3 RF per tick, guys. It's literally all it can muster. That is not good news. We've got it plonked onto the front of this. As you can see, look, it's outputting 3 RF into the capacitor. It's inputting 3 RF. And that is literally all it's doing per 1B. I was expecting it to be, I don't know, maybe 12 RF, maybe. You know what I mean? Guys, we can... At this rate, we literally have to have a full-on row of RFBs, of literally energy bees all the way along here. Just keeping an eye on. Yep, we've got a torch there. I've had to put some of these flowers on this side because eventually we're going to be like curl around. But that is just not good enough. 3 RF for all of that work? That is unbelievable, guys. Literally, I cannot believe I went to all that hassle for just 3 RF per tick. That is crazy. So, with that now in mind, and the disappointment that we had for this, let's look at Gendustry. Now, with our RF that we're creating, 3 RF, guys, massive amounts of RF, we can't get into Gendustry with that. It's just, we're not creating enough. We would have to have some form of storage, of actual battery storage. And I was looking. There's 2 different ways that we could do this. There is the energy battery from Integrated Dynamics, with a 1 million RF sort of thing there, but we'd need access to redstone. Currently, we don't have that because we need the Sinister Bees, which means we need the Magic Bees, and we need Soul Sand. That's what it comes down to get redstone. It's not a bad idea. We get crystallized mineral chunks, by the way, guys, from the mineral wood, which we've got a sapling of. We've got a few saplings of back at the base. And we can get mineral resin from that. We can also get crystallized mineral chunks, but we only get a 5% chance of that. So we'd need to, set that off and keep that going. And that is to get the 1 million RF version. In fact, why have I got... I don't understand why this is allowing... That's 16 million RF, but it's just not doing anything. But the 1 million RF is showing us that. And that's just showing us the recipe for that. Or there is... so if we look at Flux, the Flux network, there is this, the basic Flux storage, which actually does 256,000, then 12.8 million with basically just this Flux. The only problem is we need Flux blocks, which means we need these Flux cores, which means we need Eyes of Ender. We're nowhere near getting Ender Pearls, guys. Let me be quite honest. Nowhere near getting Ender Pearls. Certainly not enough to get into Flux core. So the only way of doing it is the mineral. That's to passively get some sort of power put into a battery. Or we could just use the capacitor, as we currently are, and as our current setup is allowing us to do. We can do that, and that is basically what's happening at this moment in time, and that is the only way of doing it. So, guys, that is disappointing, I have to admit, but we do have hoppers, and I've got an idea to sort of automate the wood collection of what we've currently got going at the moment. As you can see, we're currently doing this. We've got 29 back, which for all of the time that we've waited is 7 pieces of oak wood, which is not fantastic. It's certainly not going to run Gendustry equipment. It's just not, guys. There's so much we need to do. So we need a sample here. Bee sample, flowers. This could be a good way of doing it. This could be a good way of doing this. The basis of genetics with Gendustry is not all that difficult. When you place a bee in the analyzer, you see it has many stats. Those stats are genes, and with the sampler you can extract those genes. Simply place any drone or princess, however drones are probably cheaper, indeed, in the sampler with some blank samples and labware. You will then receive a random gene. This can be any number of traits or the species of the bee itself. Obtain a genetic sample to complete any genetic sample to complete this quest. Okay, so it doesn't have to be flowers. It just needs to be a genetic sample. Now that's interesting, and that's actually useful for me. So, what we're going to do, that's the input here. I did put the sampler down somewhere. I can't remember where I put it. I probably put it into a chest. But if we could get something like a flowers sample pretty much straight off the bat here, if we can get that, we'll be laughing, because we can place that onto the Sinister Bee and we don't need the thingamabobbins. Actually, I think what we'll do is we'll take this off. we'll take this off, and we'll have the clockwork engines go into the genetic sampler. So if we plant that at the back here, and if we plant that here, then that's actually going to improve that. I think with what we've currently got here, no, it's not actually. Even with that, guys, and the measly 3 RF that we've got going from the energy bee, it's not keeping up to just the centrifuge by itself. So we would need possibly another clockwork engine bee next to the, just to be on the safe side and make sure that this is running full power and make sure we constantly have a surplus of energy when the centrifuge is working. Maybe that's possible. This, however, the genetic sampler requires 200,000 RF per one single run through. So we're going to get the genetics we're going to get the blank samples. We're going to get the labware. We do have a load of labware somewhere else as well, actually. I'm pretty sure we got that through a quest. There it is, genetics labware. And it's nearly night time. Okay, guys, I've put a forest drone just in here, just a normal forest drone in the hope that we can get that flowers. We've also got a blank gene sample that's been taken and also genetics labware that's been taken. But as you can see, it's massively taking my RF like you would not believe, and now we've run out. So it's 26% of the way through. We've just got to let it wait, I suppose, and keep on going with the bees. Maybe we'll start with magic bees. I think that might be a good idea, just to get something on the board and something going. So let's leave that to do its business, because when we do that, guys, we actually get the genetic imprinter, and that is how we're going to put the flowers gene onto our sinister stuff, so to speak. And we get the genetic templates. So genetic samples can be added to the genetic templates, which I think you've got to use in the genetic imprinter. We also get some more labware as well. So we'll leave that to do its business, and we'll go for a touch of magic. The questline will now introduce you to the magical additions in Not the Bees, and how to obtain the ingredients required to become a proficient mage. To begin with, you're going to need to breed some new bees. Who would have thought? This time from magic bees. You should work towards breeding a supernatural bee, as it's used to breed almost all other bees to access many schools of magic. So okay, we need the magic bee, and that we get from the bee shopping. So let's go ahead and I do believe 16 normal honeycombs. Oh my god, I've just used all them honeycombs, haven't I? I knew there was some reason why I don't use them. 16 dripping combs, 2 pollen clusters, 1 royal jelly. So 1 royal jelly, easy enough to do. 2 pollen clusters, hard to do. Dripping combs we've got plenty of now, so we don't have to worry too much about that. We just need 16 of them, so there's 16. So let's put them 48 away. We've now got that, and we've only got the one. We've only got the one single honeycomb after all this time. Let's go floating around inside here and see if we can't find any normal honeycombs that we can just quickly nab. There we go. Look at that, guys. We've got 15. We just need the one more. Have we got one more just kicking around, guys? One more. There we go. 16 bees done. And we can go ahead, detect, submit, and grab ourselves the resonating hives. So let's just put these down. I'll just put one down. I don't really need the other one just at this moment in time. I'm hoping the bee armor will actually help us out. Where is... There it is, my scoop. We're not getting slapped in the face, and we're not getting hurt, so that's a good plus. A sorceress princess and a mundane comb is what we get from that one. So a sorceress princess, we need to make another couple of apiaries, guys, to be able to house these, because, oh, that's ignoble stock. No, that's terrible. We don't want ignoble. We want pristine. Would be nice. That's ignoble as well. Never mind, we'll have to just deal with what we've got. So if we were to look at the uses for a sorceress bee, we can mix that with another magical one, I think. Oh no, it's a cultivated one to get eldritch. So sorceress plus cultivated equals eldritch, and that is used in the future of the eldritch, of the magical bees. So if we take a look at the eldritch, say for example, the uses of the eldritch, if we mix that then with... It's not actually in there, I think. We need to get it with, is it a charmed one? I could be wrong. A charmed bee to make the supernatural. There we go. Charmed and enchanted makes the supernatural. So I'm going to get started with that, guys, and it's going to take me a while. Alright guys, I have gone as far as I possibly can for the end of today's episode. So let's take a look at the quest book and see where we ended up. I actually got one of these rare hives, these deep hives, because that's actually required in some of the magic ones. So I managed to get a few of them. Now I've been very busy breeding bees, getting bees that I want and all that sort of stuff. So let me show you. I have the Sorcerer's Pure, of course, that's still going away, even though it's ignoble. I've got the Mystical. I bred the Eldritch one. I bred the Esoteric Queen. I've also got the Charmed, which is over here. And I've started a new little set over here as well. So I've got the Enchanted. I've got the Supernatural, which is exactly what we wanted for that for the quest. I've got the Attuned. And I've got the Mysterious. Now, to work towards getting the Soul Comb, I'm just going to go towards this Spirit one, and then possibly go on for the Soul. But eventually I do want to get that Dreaming one. And that's going to take a little while to be able to get, though, because it's just a pain. It's all a pain, guys. It really is all a pain. The Windy needs Supernatural and Ethereal. The Ethereal needs Arcane and Supernatural. Arcane needs Esoteric and Mysterious. That's at the point of which I am. At the Arcane. So if we take a look at Touch of Magic, was it? Otherworldly Comb, I've got that. I can get the Eternal Flames now, so let's go ahead and claim that. If we take a look at these, actually, guys, the Eternal Flame here is a production of 0, but it just basically means they won't produce anything, they will just live forever. Actually, that's not a bad idea to maybe put inside this Energy Bee. It will just last forever, but it won't produce anything. And it's not a bad idea. It's not a terrible thing to have, I don't suppose. So we'll think about that anyway for in between episodes. So you should work towards breeding supernatural bees that you use to breed all of the bees to access many schools of magic. And then, of course, we've opened up Thaumaturgy. We've opened up what I would presume is, yes, Astral Sorcery. We've opened up Britannia and Blood Magic, all of which can be really, really useful in this pack. We're not going to get into that anytime soon, guys. I really need to get that soul sand. That is the one thing that is holding me back for all of this pack, is just basically I don't have iron. I don't have a way of getting metals. I don't have any redstone. I have nothing like that. So that is what is keeping me held back. Soul sand, guys. I'm slowly working towards it. I really am slowly working towards it. I'm very nearly there with the Ethereal. Once I've got the Ethereal, I'll be able to get the Aware pretty easy, because I can get Ethereal with the Attuned and that'll get the Aware. Once I've got that, I can work down the list here and get to Dreaming, which will get me a more of a chance to get the Soul Combs, which I can get more and more Soul Sand with. Either that, or I'll just get some proven frames and stick them in with the normal ones. So that's probably a good way of doing it as well. This one requires Supernatural and Ethereal, which I'll have at this particular point, and then whatever that says, requires Watery, which is Supernatural and Ethereal. It's 14% of getting that, and also Rooted, which is Forest and Eldritch, both of which I've already got. So it's not actually that far away. I've just run out of time. I really have run out of time for today's sets of recordings, and that's as much as I can possibly do. We have also improved massively our bees, because they are all of these along here have all got the Yente princesses in, and the vast majority of these guys have Yente princesses in. This one obviously doesn't. None of them over there have Yente princesses in, and I think one of them over here has a Yente princess in. Maybe not. Maybe none of them have a Yente princess in. Make sure these are kept up, because that's what's keeping them from reproducing like there's no tomorrow. Let's put all that away. So there we are. We are making really, really good progress, though, throughout the entirety of this pack so far. The only thing keeping us back is resources, which by next episode, guys, I will promise you, when the start of next episode comes, I will have 1 piece of soul sand in my inventory. Until then, guys, I've been the Toff Man as always. Stay safe.